I'd like to call to order the Executive Committee meeting August 20th, 2025 at 9 a.m. We'll start off with a roll call.
Mr. Hess?
Present.
Ms. Polk?
Present.
Mr. Seroy?
Present.
Ms. Weber? Ms. Parker? Mr. Carrico?
Present.
Mr. Featherling?
Present.
Mr. Kirkstra?
Present.
Mr. Hunter?
Present.
Mr. Smith? Ms. Foster? Mr. Ashcraft? Ms. Monday?
Present.
Mr. Alexander Hildebrand?
Present.
Mr. Long? We do have a quorum.
All right, we have a quorum, and then can I have a motion and a second to allow Hunter and Peggy Sue in via Zoom? First by Carrico, second by Seroyce. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
Motion carries. No problem. Nice to see you both. I don't have anything under public comment or presentation, so we'll move on to the approval of the minutes of July 16th, 2025. Can I have a motion to approve those minutes? First by Parker.
Polk.
Second by Polk. We'll do a voice vote on that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those
Aye.
opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Legislative, we'll have Anita cover that when she comes up. So we'll move on to Information Systems. Jason Shane with a monthly update. Morning, Jason.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Again, here just to keep everyone up to date on everything going on in our department. We're still working on service calls like we normally do in preventive maintenance. This past month, I've worked with Karen in the VAC, Lori in the recorder's office, and Nick in the treasurer's office. Got all their PCs replaced and up to Windows 11. We also deployed a shadow gateway for redundancy for our firewalls, along with some WAN redundancy to automatically switch if we ever have a failure on if we ever have a failure on our internet connection, to keep everything up and going automatically. Someone doesn't need to interact with it to get it going, just have to interact it to fix whatever went wrong. I've also worked with Dan to get a new Hyper-V server host, along with a virtual server for his new voter registration software. We're still on budget. Our future things is to continue to work on Windows 11 upgrades. We're almost finished, and we will hit our October deadline for sure. We're also going to be upgrading the point-to-point wireless connection between the admin and courthouse. That will increase the backup speeds in case our fiber connection goes down. And we'll be moving into the annex to upgrade their network to the same level that we have here now. And that's all I got, unless you have any questions.
Any questions for Jason? All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Next up, we have John Beavis with the Administrator's Report from the Health Department. And can I have a motion to accept and put his report on file? First by Featherling. Second by Kirkstra. And we'll do a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairman. Good morning, everybody. You have my report. It's been quiet at the Health Department.
Quiet's really good, right?
Quiet is good. We're still in the process of receiving and applying for a number of the grants that we get through IDPH, and in some cases from federal money. Many of those were delayed with some of these pauses and those types of things. So even though the grant year began July 1, in some of these programs, we're operating on faith at this point, which historically has been the way that it goes. Their cycle is not always timely, like the real world. So we're getting those taken care of, and it appears that, you know, most of those, they might have some cuts to them. We have researched out and found a couple of other grants to supplement money that we did lose, and those fit in nicely to some of the programs in where that money was lost. So that will help continue the programs and the staff that perform those duties. So with that, like I said, it's kind of quiet, which, as Chairman Matt said, that's good news. Is if we are in the news and something's going on that they want to talk about. I'll answer any questions.
Any questions? Yes. Mr. Carrico?
John, I'd just like for you to give to the public a little bit of information about the upcoming meeting that we're going to be having, with the date and the time, and what is new on the agenda besides all the regular things that every month.
Well, referring to the Board of Health meeting.
Correct.
That is Thursday night, the day after tomorrow, actually. Actually, not the day after tomorrow, it is tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow.
So our meeting is the third Thursday of every month, and the time is at 5 o'clock, and it's at the Health Department. Typically, the agenda for this month is mostly the normal reports that we give out through either environmental health, maternal child health, our client services program. We do have 2 months of financials to catch up on because I think last month's meeting was canceled kind of due to lack of business at the time. We weren't ready for the financials at that point. That was one of the main reasons, because it was the end of the grant year closeout. And then in working with Mr. Carrico, our president, for the Board of Health, we have added a couple of topics, I think, in regards to current legislation that's being proposed, hopefully to provide another $10 million, I wish, to the Kankakee County Health Department, but for health departments across the state as a whole. When the budget was approved by Illinois, there was a $5 million shortfall, I believe was the number. And so all the administrators and public health personnel in general have been working to try to get that money restored into the budget to help, because mostly every year we don't get increases. We just stay status quo in regards to the amount of money that they divvy up amongst all the health departments. So is that sufficing, or?
Yes, it is. As a matter of fact, what you just said, adding to that, I think on the agenda we're going to have also discussion on the resolution and a possible approval of the resolution to support that $10 million.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So the second item then was a resolution that appears to sort of represent a letter of support, so to speak, from the Board of Health. That this is much needed for us here locally in Kankakee, and for all health departments in regards to, as they whittle away some of the grants and take away, some money, when funding is lost, we need to make up for this, and this would be an opportunity if it is passed. So definitely appreciate that vote of support. So.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Mr. Hunter.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Beavis, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. It's good to see you, Steve.
It's good to be seen instead of viewed, right?
I guess.
I've got a question.
I can empathize with that.
Yeah, for sure. Got a question, and I don't know if this has come across your desk or if you're aware, but, since Prime has taken over St. Mary's, they curtailed or cut out the community outreach initiatives in terms of nurses going out to the eastern part of the county, Pembroke, for example, because I know some of the people that worked in that arena, and those jobs have been cut. And I was wondering how might, if anything, that may impact your service delivery for the eastern part of the county.
That's a great point, Steve. We are aware of those cuts that were made to that staff that previously had done that work, because as a collaborative agency ourselves, we definitely worked with those individuals, and it was sad to see them lose their positions, and we were anxiously awaiting to kind of see what was going to happen on the backside of that. We are looking as a health department through some of these additional new grants that I was talking about a few moments ago to try to incorporate more getting out into the public and definitely into that sector of the county. Definitely working with, the state's attorney's got that building out there, and they have services that are provided, and he has made that available to agencies within the community, including ours. So we are looking to try to supplement where we can to help with that. I do know that there's an individual within the Prime system that I think I was told is going to be trying to accomplish that through his work, but he also had, his other day-to-day job that he was doing also. So instead of hiring and replacing, it's sort of taking that work and putting it on somebody else. So it will be incumbent upon many of us other agencies to try to supplement to reach the needs of those out in that eastern part of the county. Does that help?
Thank you very much for the update. Appreciate that.
Sure. You're welcome.
Ms. Foster?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Since the federal government is downplaying the importance of vaccinations, I'm wondering, are we going to be ready for the period in the fall to get people inoculated with the flu shots and with the new COVID shot?
Absolutely.
Okay. That's a concern. I know here recently, my sister went into the hospital, and the hospital was full. She had to stay in the emergency room. So I do believe that, this new strain and other stuff that's going on, that, the hospitals are full, and I want to make sure that people get inoculated.
We do have our agreements with the state for our supplies, and we receive those, and it's not just those vaccines, but many others, many of the ones that are required for school.
Yeah.
What we see historically, and especially this time of year, is individuals, families who procrastinate in getting that done until the very last second, and then they're scrambling to go do it. So we definitely have that available at the health department. They're also available at, hospitals and these urgent cares and places like that. The pharmacies also potentially provide these, so it's just a question of where do they want to go when they need it.
Yeah, and I appreciate Mr. Hunter's question, because we had the nurse come out at least twice a month. She would check everybody's blood pressure, including mine, and it kept people on track of what they needed to do. Not only were they getting a healthy meal at the senior citizen building, but they could get questions answered about their health needs. So it is a service that we do need.
Yes, and just I can't make promises. The grant has to be approved, but we submitted an application just yesterday. We hope to hear within a few weeks. It's supposed to run from September through June of next year to do exactly that, to provide services out, especially in that eastern part of the county, and some of these regular just screenings and checks that aren't being done, or to help with the transportation issue that many people have. They can't come into town, so we need, we definitely learned that during COVID, going out into the public and coming to you to perform some of these services where we can.
Mr. Beavis, will the health department have a site? Pembroke Days will be coming up this weekend, and I was wondering if you all were going to be there giving out any kind of information to the community.
I don't believe we're scheduled to be there this weekend. I can check on that.
Okay.
We have individuals who get contacted, and there's an event form that gets filled out. That's not something that's in there. So unfortunately, sometimes if agencies or villages do not reach out to us, we aren't aware and then can't make people available. But we definitely, you see our presence out into the community when we get asked and where we can. That is definitely something that we have utilized in the past.
Yeah.
However, I am unaware that we got asked this year.
Okay.
That would be unfortunate. But if somebody could get us a contact name, because sometimes those names change, and even if we were to try to reach out to so and so, that might be last year so and so, but not this year so and so. And
That's true.
as a result of that, then we could definitely at least say, hey, consider us next year when you send out, or make your flyer, because sometimes we do find out when it's advertised and then it's too late.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Next up, we have Dr. Patricia High. There's no report today. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm
Sure,
excited
it's
to
a
be here
busy
in
time
person.
for you.
Yeah, first week of school. We're mostly all schools are in session, so we're rocking and rolling. So I have gone through a couple different options of what our office does. I'm now in the third part, which is student services. A lot of people don't know that we have different programs within our building that we service different students. So I'm going to kind of go through 3 different programs. Our attendance assistance program, which is mostly known as our truancy department. Our alternative education programs, which are known as ICANN schools, which is SALT and RAC. And then our McKinney-Vento homeless liaison services, as well as our life education center. So for our truancy, I'm going to give you some data points. We currently have 8 truancy case managers that service both Iroquois and Kankakee County. This school year, they're starting off with 500 students on truancy. This program is funded partially by the counties, but mostly by our school services grant and our TAP grant that we get from ISB. And we have to write for those grants every year, or rewrite for them every year. So just kind of keeping that updated is kind of our focus. Once the district has engaged families with 3 interventions, our attendance assistance staff can step in. Some different interventions that they have done are individual student meetings, home visits, family meetings, health service referrals, provision of resources, referrals to mental health providers, and participation in the truancy review board at the courthouse. Common challenges, and when I was talking with our truancy staff at the start of we had our welcome back last Tuesday. The common challenge with our attendance assistance staff is responding to parents and families who are non-responsive. To address the challenges and seek innovative ways to support families, and their true goal is more solution-based and discover the real reason behind the chronic truance or the chronic absenteeism. The second part of our student services program is our regional safe schools and alternative learning program for students that are at risk. Our RAC program, we call it Regional Alternative Attendance Center, but it's an ISB funded program that students in grades 6 through 12 within our 18 districts who are expulsion eligible or have general education chronic behavioral concerns. These students are provided individual courses scheduled to meet graduation requirements and are receiving personalized assistance managing their behavior. Last year, we had 59 students with 6 high school graduates for that program. It's more individualized. We have a smaller class size, and we focus on behaviors and making students ready for society, basically. Our SALT program, which is our Students All Learning Together program, is another grant-funded position or program that services students 9 through 12. And I believe we had 170 students within that program with 59 graduates. Again, it's 9th through 12th grade. Most schools send 11th and 12th graders that are credit deficient, and we try to individualize. We have 3 very very good tutors that kind of sit with them, kind of work through their struggles. In both programs, we provide ourselves. We're pretty proud of our SEL curriculum design that reflects a trauma-informed approach, because the students that cannot be serviced at their home school really do need more support, and that's what our building tries to provide.
Mr. Chair, I have a question.
Okay.
Peggy?
Yes, thank you so much. Dr. High, I do have a question regarding the RAC program.
Yes.
It's been many, many, many years since I was involved with RAC as a mentor. Do you still do that for that program?
So we do provide job coaching now. We have three social workers that service the needs of both students. I say both sides because they're on different sides of the hallway. But we have had actually mentors come out from our local agencies that have met with students. But a lot of times we have our social workers have specific goals with them, and we kind of go through that. A lot of our students, job coaching wise, we've seen some success. We're actually improving our job program and making sure that the job coach goes out to the sites. So it's kind of like a mentor relationship and such.
Okay. This was, very long time ago, as I alluded to, but it was a mentor not for jobs. It was just like a mentor for like life, because the children were often without parents, and that was one of the reasons why there was so much trouble and anxiety and whatever. And so I think the mentors back then were just kind of a sounding board and just, tried to befriend these students in a way to encourage them and motivate them to continue down a good, successful path with life, not necessarily jobs. So I was just curious if y'all were still doing that type of mentoring. It doesn't sound like it.
No, and with that is that's a great program. I think we can possibly look into some type of implementation. It's just getting the people there, we did the Why Try program with the state's attorney, which was excellent. But again, when funding doesn't exist anymore, we have to pivot.
Yeah. I had the most wonderful young lady I mentored for. She was tough, boy. She was really tough, and she hated her mom, and it was really quite an experience for me as a mom too. So she was like mentoring me, on things. Don't do this, don't say that, don't, because it could come back to haunt you, that type of thing. I would encourage, it is difficult, I'm quite sure, to find volunteer mentors for troubled teens. I mean, let's face it, I'm sure it's not easy, but I'm wondering if that was offered, if you might get 2, 3, 4 people who would step into that role that could perhaps change a life at some point. So just food for thought.
We definitely can look into it. I can talk to our team. We have admin team meetings, so that's a good program.
Mr. Searoyce?
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. High, to piggyback off of what Ms. Monday said, the Youth for Christ building that's on Court Street uses mentors from Olivet to go to the Kankakee Junior High. So if you're looking at a low cost, maybe we could partner with Youth for Christ and see how they get those students. And I don't know if the students receive some kind of counseling credit from Olivet or not, but I do know they have students that walk halls, Olivet students that walk halls with Kankakee Junior High students that are having those issues. It's just a bit of information.
No, that's
that
good. We definitely can reach out.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Hunter?
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. Dr. High, the information which you have provided to us is overwhelming. And some of the information that you provide should be really thought-provoking to the members, because the most important asset in our society are kids. And some of the information you provided regarding 500 cases of truancy and only 8 managers, that's kind of a daunting task. Because, I can probably relate to that because, I do see kids during the school year, who should be in school. Additionally, you mentioned the problem with some of the parents or parent being uncooperative. And I just want to let you know that I hear you. And I heard the information that you provided, and I know that that's very difficult. I know I posed questions to you in the past regarding those schools which are on probation and looking at their report cards. And at some future point, if you could give us a status report on the progress being made in order to rectify the ISB report cards for those schools.
Of course. The report card comes out actually Halloween. It's kind of a running joke in education. So the new report cards come out at Halloween. ISB, as many of you know, is going through a restructure on their assessment protocols and the way they're identifying students in schools of academic progress. So ISB is slowly pushing out information about all that, the different assessment tools and the different cut scores for each school. So I think we're going to see a difference in who is being identified as needs improvement or whatever when it comes down to each school district. So it's going to definitely be an interesting year for data. And I'm kind of a data geek when it comes to that, but we do monitor that regularly. And I know our schools do because I continually get questions and send out those emails with information from ISB.
Could you comment on the number of the truancy cases and only 8 managers? Any comments on that at all?
So I will say our case managers are all-stars. They are amazing people. They love students. They love their jobs. They get put into some pretty sticky situations. A lot of times they're, yelled at, which breaks my heart. Being a former case manager for special education, I understand what they're going through, but again, they're all-stars. They come back day in, day out. They're all amazing human beings, let's just say that. Because when we call on them on a Saturday, if a kid is struggling, or if, even if one of the sheriff officers knows that a student's on truancy, they'll notify us. They each have Google numbers that, they answer at all hours of the night, which is crazy to me. I think that's education. Education, we're willing to do what's best for community. But they have shifted their program because when we first started, 500 kids, 8 case managers, a lot of kids per person.
Yep. Yeah, true.
So what we do is we kind of characterize, we do like a system in which we have our most needy families. And I say needy, but our most intense families that maybe don't have the structure and organization as a family unit that is needed. And we have a certain case manager specifically for those families. So we kind of characterize it. And some of these students, they go on vacation with their families during the school year. And then maybe, they have a couple sick days and they end up on truancy. But they're still getting A's in class. Understandable. Those students are not like, they just, we just check in on them. Hey, maybe next year plan it around a holiday for your vacation, or maybe talk with the parents. But the students that are, we call them the red or the orange, those are the families, because it's not just one kid in a family, it's 3 kids, and are all of them. Yeah. Does that answer your question, Mr. Hunter?
Well, yeah, I can go on and on and on about the Christmas time as well too, and
yes,
and when our Hispanic families going to Guanajuato or wherever, Mexico, and that is a problem. That's an ongoing problem, but hopefully guys are making a dent into that.
We're trying. And like I said, they're amazing.
Thank you.
Ms.
Thank you very
Foster.
much for your information.
Yeah,
Ms.
Dr.
Foster.
Hyde, good morning.
Good
Did you
morning.
submit a report? You've given us a lot of information,
So-
but I'd like to have something that I can look at and see and be able to disseminate that information to the people that want the information in my community.
So usually, so when I first started this, I kind of gave like a initial report of what we do, and then I just kind of keep going through each of those different steps. But those different steps, I can obviously submit a report on each individual one.
So
to
I
help
think
you
like
out.
2 or 3 months ago, she did an entire thing for over the period of the last 3 months.
Yeah.
So this is included in that. But yeah,
I could
guess,
definitely
yeah.
do the individual,
Then we can
the
do
individual sections in which we
individual
do.
as well.
All right, thank
So,
you.
No problem.
Any more questions for her? Or your?
I still go.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. All right. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Okay, so we also, our third program that we provide is homeless services that support area schools. We utilize the ISB McKinney-Vento grant. It's a federal funded program through ISB. We have 539 students that we serve both in Kankakee and Iroquois County that are on McKinney-Vento services. It's kind of a process. Our liaison basically works with area schools, area school liaisons, because every school by law has to have a liaison, and she works closely with them to provide services. And if the students are in between schools or maybe have to relocate, we kind of take charge with that and help the schools out with that information. And lastly, our last program for students is our Life Education Center, and mostly everybody knows Harold. Provides healthy lifestyle education to elementary students throughout the ICANN region. It's elementary, middle school, and at the beginning of high school. There's 9,763 students that receive some type of healthy lifestyle and prevention services with our Life Education Center educators. So I have a staff of 61, I think, this year. They're all amazing people. They go out and they get things done within all of our communities. I'm proud of them. They know it. Our welcome back, we all joke around. We have a nice breakfast, but what we really do is we care about kids. We care about our communities. So that's kind of our programs. Questions on homeless or anything else? I got it.
Any more questions? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next up, we have the VAC, Eric Peterson, with a monthly report. Can I have a motion to accept and put his report on file? First by Featherling, second by Foster, and then we'll do a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me here today. So at the time of this report, there were 6 participants in Veterans Treatment Court. I'm happy to say, if you saw the email that went out earlier this month, we did have one graduate the first Thursday of this month. It was a wonderful ceremony. We are very proud of that veteran. He actually also graduated from KCC, and during that time he had an electric guitar built, and he actually brought it into court and had all of the staff members sign it, which I thought was very meaningful. In the office, Denise, our new receptionist, is catching on very quickly. She's only working 2 days a week right now, but she's doing an amazing job. Karen just got back from the NACVSO conference. That is the National Association for County Veteran Service Officers. This was her first year as the NACVSO Director of Education. And while she was there, she was able to talk to the Louisville Regional Office Special Missions Group and had one of our veterans' claims adjudicated with a 70% retro for over a year. This was a veteran whose claim was previously denied, so it was incredible that she was able to do that while she was down there at that conference. I also attended the conference virtually. And we want to make sure that we thank Vietnam veteran Mike Pekin and Vietnam veteran Roger Bean for really helping out volunteering around our office during that time. If you're unaware, Roger Bean is also one of the founding members of that Veterans Assistance Commission. So to have their involvement from a volunteer perspective is also something that's very meaningful to us over there. Also, at the time of this report, I noted that Robin Kelly's office would be coming down to our office once a month or so to help any veterans that might need assistance. As of today, they actually came by yesterday. The veteran's name is Aaron Craig. He's a representative from Robin Kelly's office. He's wonderful. He lives in Frankfurt. His wife is also currently serving, and he will be in our office still once a month. I'll make sure to put it out to Joanne when we have the date for September, but he's there to help with any VHA, VBA issues, military records, discharge upgrades, TRICARE issues, but also outside of the veteran space. He can also assist with IRS, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, FEMA, USDA, passport and visa issues, and more. I believe that the veterans in this county need to have a voice, and so that this is a great opportunity to work alongside Congresswoman Kelly's office to make sure that these veterans do have that voice. In addition to that, we have a couple of events coming up. Our outreach VSO Ty did represent the Veterans Assistance Commission at Riverside's event in Pembroke on July 25th. So thank you again for making us aware of that so we could be a part of that event. On October 25th, Bear Construction has volunteered to do a fundraiser for the Liberty Lodge. So as of right now, our Liberty Lodge is up to 10 veteran residents. We also have several supportive services that are starting to come in there and utilize that office, to include Heinz VA twice a month, Thresholds almost once a week, and then we have another Vietnam veteran who provides pastoral care once a week as well. So we're very happy to be able to do that. The proceeds raised by Bear Construction will go to building a fence around the back of the Liberty Lodge because it butts up to an alley. Sometimes garbage gets thrown back there and things like that. So we want to make sure we keep it clean. The veterans there are taking great pride in the place, which we love. So we want to make sure that we can try to give them a nice space to go to include gazebo, landscaping, flagpoles, and we really want that place to be as beautiful as it was in our initial thoughts. And that concludes my report. Are there any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Peggy.
Hey, good morning, Eric.
Good morning.
I have a question. I'm pulling over so that I can park and talk to you. I'm so sorry. I'm on my way to work for an important meeting. So a question regarding PTSD. Someone approached me recently and asked the question about having PTSD or not. How or where is there someone locally that diagnoses veterans that may have that? Is it just their own doctor? Does it have to be a doctor through the VA somehow or whatever? And do PTSD people have additional veterans benefits, correct?
Yes, so I will say, and I'll make sure I absolutely preface with this, that I am definitely not a clinician. However, when it comes to PTSD, I think the more time goes on, the more that we learn about it. You know, it's not something that's isolated specifically to the veteran community. PTSD is something that can be affected by anybody that's experienced any type of trauma. You know, when it comes to the veteran space, we have obviously the combat veterans that have their specific type of PTSD. We have, unfortunately, military sexual trauma that has its own type of PTSD. There are a lot of things that veterans can go through that can cause some sort of trauma for them that then comes out in a myriad of ways, to include depression, anxiety, hypervigilance, anger, flashbacks, you know, any of these things. So if anybody is experiencing any of those symptoms, the first thing I would tell you to do is make sure that you see your clinician. You talk to a clinician, whatever clinician you are using. Your primary care is usually the best place to start. And if it's a veteran and they are concerned that it's something that's affecting them and it could result from their service, that they should absolutely first make sure that they talk to a clinician so they can start the treatment process, whatever that looks like. And then following that, they should absolutely see a veteran service officer to see if there is a claim to be made based on that veteran's trauma.
And is there someone local that does that in our county?
So from a veteran service officer perspective, that's what we have at the Veterans Assistance Commission. So once they receive their diagnosis, see a physician, provider, things like that, then once they are starting to get their treatment lined up, because I think that's the most important thing, then I would absolutely recommend that they come to the Veterans Assistance Commission to talk to one of our veteran service officers.
Okay, gotcha. All right, I told them that I thought they should just go ahead and contact you for information, but I did ask if they have seen their own doctor and actually had a diagnosis or not, or, you know, whatever. So he was under the impression he had to go to Springfield in order to get to see someone. And, you know, I said, I don't think so. I think it can be done local. So thank you very much for answering the question.
Absolutely. That used to be the case, but thankfully, due to the Vietnam veteran community, they helped start the Veterans Assistance Commission in our county so veterans wouldn't have to do that. But thank you for that question.
Yeah, thank you.
And lastly, I'd like to make one other note. We did lose a very real advocate in the veteran community recently. His name was Don Ball. He's the executive director of Buddy Check 22. He passed away this past weekend. Buddy Check 22 is another phenomenal veteran nonprofit in the area that provides free therapy to the veteran and anyone in that veteran's family. And Don Ball was a mentor to me and many others. We will miss him very much, and I just wanted to make sure that you were all aware of that as well.
Thoughts and prayers for him.
Thank you. That's all I got.
Any more questions?
Excellent report.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Next up, we have the County Administrator, Nita Speckman, with a monthly update. We have a couple other items after that. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. So first I will touch on legislative. I'm sure all of you have seen some things in the news that the governor did sign I heard three different numbers, but around 260 or so new bills. In terms of impact on the county structure, Mr. Pentwick did speak about the Office of State Public Defender and that bill passing. It did. It was signed. Most of the requirements there, I'll let him really speak to that, but most of them are not effective until 2027. The creation of the office, State Office of Public Defender, occurs next July 1st of 2026. So then there may be some changes. It is interesting. It was part of the thought process was additional funding was needed, but the funding level remains at $10 million in the new budget, which is the same as it has been since 2023. So I suspect changes happening at some point, but that's where we're at with that in terms of county impact. So monthly update in terms of HR. There are 7 positions open, 3 of which are over 30 days old. So 4 new ones in the last 30 days or so. The highway has an opening for an automotive mechanic, and they also used Indeed for the first time for their hiring, and they're happy with that too. So we've had 8 applicants from Indeed, 0 from the county website. So we're seeing more visibility through Indeed or those online services, which is really where people are looking for jobs at this point. So we expect some movement there. New hire orientation will be held tomorrow with 8 new employees reserved, 4 CanCom, 3 ICANN schools. So we usually see several in August, and a couple of corrections officers. So let's see. Other than that, in terms of HR, moving on, I did speak to our representative at Alliant, which is our carrier for property liability, work comp, and cyber. He did tell me he's going to be sending, which he typically does, kind of a preview of what we can expect. I expect that any day, along with the application for renewal, which requires a bit of time to complete all our salaries, all our forecasted salaries for next year by work comp classification, a list of all equipment on inland marine and auto. That's usually a big piece of it. Plus then the cyber application, which I typically work with. I'll work with Jason on completing that and getting that submitted. So usually we see a response mid-September, mid to late September on what that renewal looks like. But they will send kind of a first blush look next week or so. Next Thursday is our claims review, where we review major claims that relate to liability and work comp. There's very little in terms of large work comp at this point, so we're grateful for that. But then the liability claims are sitting out there, and we walk through those and how those may impact our renewal. So that's next week. We continue to work on the health insurance renewal and look for that coming in, and how we will forecast that to try to determine moving forward what our plans will be for next year. The big thing is that I have on my list is something we've worked on for some time. We knew in January we needed a new COBRA TPA, or third-party administrator, for the county's COBRA plan. Historically, it was a service provided at no charge by Blue Cross Blue Shield. We were told in January 1st that the pricing model would change. Historically, what would happen is the county would be charged for employees or ex-employees that were enrolled in COBRA, which would be 2 or 3 a year. Well, the pricing model was going to change to a per employee per month for every benefits eligible employee. So that was the first notification that came in January. So Mike and I, Mike Lynch, our broker, and I talked then about needing to possibly look at alternatives, because it would make a big difference. At that point, Blue Cross said, yeah, we're not going to fund that. You'll be funding it. Okay. And then it came that, well, actually, that's when Mike and I kind of went out. Mike Lynch went out and got quotes from 3, including our current vendor. So our current vendor is a manual process. So what happens is when Joanne gets a termination, then if it's a benefit eligible employee, she goes to the TPA's website, data enters the employee's name, coverage, social security number, date of birth, all same for all the spouse, children, etc. It's a manual process. So we did get a quote from the current vendor at 60 cents per employee per month. We then looked at Paylocity. Paylocity has a module, which is we currently have our benefits and our timekeeping in Paylocity. We asked them for a quote. As long as we were doing that, we looked at HRAs, HSAs. That was done by a local bank who this last year outsourced it to a bank in California. So it became a remote process, which is more challenging for our employees, and we don't have that local touch and ability to walk over to the branch and get assistance for our employees. So we looked at that as well. And as long as we were doing that, we thought we would also look at the third was FSAs. we're happy with our FSA process. We have a good vendor there, remote. Employees can submit claims for their FSA remotely. They can scan it and send it. It works well. We don't get complaints from it. It is pretty cost effective, but Paylocity gave us a quote of all three. And you see that, and that is the annual cost of about just short of $7,000, $6,900 to move all three of them. I think it will work better to put them all together. One, COBRA becomes an automated process. So there's no Joanne entering things manually. There's no, gee, I forgot to enter this person, or somebody got entered that's not benefits eligible. It works very well. We think it will streamline and be more cost effective and more accurate. There's been quite a few discussions the last month about pricing and bundling. Mr. Cavender had gotten a quote from Paylocity last spring about signing a contract and reducing our payroll costs and benefits costs by signing a contract. So we merged those two and leveraged them to get lower prices on both. So what you see in front of you are those two pieces. One is a contract for the existing enrollments or plans that we have, payroll and HR. That is a 3-year agreement. It's 2 years firm and then a third auto renewal at a flat fee per month of $11.15. It is a 20% reduction over the total fees estimated right now. It changes the way it's priced, so I can't get exact because it's a bundled price. So it's a per employee per month, as opposed to now, Joanne gets a monthly invoice that breaks out number of people that got a check and this and that. So it's all, and this bundles everything together. So the advantage also is if Joanne has to run a second check, that's another payroll run. Now, it's not a lot of money. I made $100, yeah, $90, $100. But we're like, is it worth $100? Right. Well, it goes away.
Well, and the advantage of the 3-year is, you have a set price and, it's a 20% reduction, right? So we're going to be with Paylocity anyway, so might as well sign a long-term contract, which was never done in the past. And we're looking at any ways to save money, I guess. So.
Well, and what I ended up doing in terms of the other 3 new modules was saying, yes, these are great prices. Well, first I negotiated them down to match what we were currently paying, and then said, but I really don't want to go to the board and ask for an increase in cost. So they actually reduced this pricing you're looking on at the existing plan. That $11.15 was actually reduced by $7,000 from the quote we had in hand to cover the cost of the new services. So it comes out to be about 19%, or it comes out to cover everything all together at no additional cost, 3 extra modules, and a flat fee for 3 years, and we're good to go. So what I'm asking for, it has been reviewed by the state's attorney's office for terms and conditions. There are no adjustments they recommend. So what I'm asking for is a motion to approve for the chairman to sign these 2 programs.
So motion to combine and approve Paylocity contract and proposal. That's what we need?
Yes.
All right, so first by C. Royce, second by Parker. Any questions? Mr. C. Royce.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Nita, thank you for the in-depth explanation of what you're trying to do. What percentage of Paylocity, and I know you said 19%, but I know that's not the percentage that I'm looking for. What percentage are we paying Paylocity to do our payroll? So it's $85,000 a year. Joanne, what's our average yearly payroll in the millions. I should know that off the top of my head, but I don't.
How much does every pay? 1.2, 1.3, depending every
Per payroll.
Per payroll. So do that
Yeah.
Times
20, 18 or
26.
26. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I can figure that out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks.
And so you understand in terms of real dollars, while this quote is an estimated 85,208, it's based on per employee. So if the number of employees goes up or down, that will change. But the estimate of 85, our forecast for the current year is $113,000. So nice reduction.
Any more questions for Anita? All right, we have a motion and a second. We'll do a roll call. Yeah, combine and approve both of them.
Mr. Hess?
Aye.
Ms. Polk? Ms. Polk?
Aye.
Mr. Seroy?
Aye.
Aye.
Ms. Weber? Ms. Parker? Mr. Carrico? Mr. Featherling?
Aye.
Mr. Kirkstra?
Aye.
Mr. Hunter?
Aye.
Ms. Foster? Ms. Monday?
Aye.
Mr. Alexander Hildebrand?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. All right, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we have community services. We'll try to speed through this. It's been a long meeting. We have the county assessor's monthly report. Can I have a motion to accept and put his report on file?
So
First by
moved.
Featherling, second by Hunter. Any discussion on that?
Yeah.
All right, voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Welcome, Eric.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, everyone. I know we're running a little long, so I'll try to keep this as short as possible, but give you as much information as I can. Since we last spoke back in July, I did receive all of the assessment changes from all of the townships. My staff did a great job of getting those in the system. We have routine questions that we submit to the townships. The township assessors were cooperative and answered those questions for us, so we were able to close out the township assessor level. That allowed me to launch into the supervisor of assessments level, which allows me to, update the wind turbine values, the solar energy values, and anything else that I need to make changes on in my own level. We closed that out quickly because I usually have those things kind of prepared ahead of time. I kind of know what I need to get through. And then last Thursday, the 14th, I did complete equalization. Equalization occurs because I need to measure where a township is at versus 33 1/3% of fair tax value according to the math that's done by the Department of Revenue. I was able to get that done in one day so that we can go ahead and get ready to move into the next phase, which is the pending part of my report, publication and notification of assessment changes. We're going to publish in the Daily Journal on Wednesday, September 10th, and then the Hersher pilot on Thursday, September 11th. The last day for us to accept an appeal is going to be Tuesday, October 14th, right after Columbus Day. So that is our window to accept appeals. And that's a huge part of the year, because what that does is I'm a true believer in the process that no assessment should be able to be taxed until you're able to appeal the value first. And so that's what this process is for. In the fall, if somebody is unhappy with their value or needs to speak with their assessor or my office, that's what we're here for, and that's what this time is set up for. And so we'll go ahead and publish and notify, like I said. I even have the notification schedule set up so that the notifications that are to be mailed are going to be delivered to the post office on September 10th, so that we try to sync up with the publication as much as possible, and people will get their mail very shortly thereafter. But receiving it in the mail doesn't start your window to file an appeal. It's actually the publication date in the newspaper. That's why I thought it was important to announce that today. Once we get through the 30-day window, or it's actually slightly more because of the holiday and things, we will launch into the Board of Review level, where any hearings that need to happen would happen there in the back quarter of the year, October, November, December. And I still look to close out Board of Review and get the reports to the county clerk before the end of 2025. I like to try to keep things started in January and end it by the end of December, and I think we're in a really good place to do that. So with that being said, I would open the floor to any questions.
Any questions for Eric?
Eric,
Mr. Hunter?
Chairman,
Yes, sir.
you mentioned the Journal and the Herscher periodicals.
Yes.
Will there be any other newspapers that you'll utilize?
I did, sir, reach out to the City News. I actually included you in the email as well. That was on July 25th. I gave them 2 weeks to respond to me if they were willing to participate in our publication process. I gave them a deadline of August 8th, and I did not hear from them. So the only the only two publications we're going to use in 2025 are going to be the Daily Journal, which, like I said, is going to publish on Wednesday the 10th. And then the Herscher Pilot publishes on Thursday the 11th.
I appreciate you reaching out to them. That's merely what I wanted to see.
Absolutely.
If they could do it, and I really appreciate your follow-up.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Featherling?
Yeah, Eric. Tax appeals, the last day was that October
14th, sir. It's a Tuesday. It's the day after Columbus Day.
Okay.
Any more questions? All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks for all your hard work.
Thank you, sir.
Next up, we have the county clerk's monthly report. Can I have a motion to accept and put his report on file? First by Kirkstra, second by Foster. We'll do a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Floor is yours.
I will be exceptionally briefer. I don't have anything unless y'all want to hear the history of elections. I can go on for an hour. But, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them to the best of my ability. Otherwise, we can move on.
Any questions for Dan? All right, thank you.
If you have something come up, you know where I am.
Dan's always available.
Reach out. Have a good day.
The recorder's not here today, so I just need a motion to accept and put her report on file. First by Hess, second by C. Royce. Do a voice vote on that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. It's all up to you now, Tinker.
Okay, very brief. We met, AWAC met last week. We had a good turnout. Every member showed up, even our new member. And we did have a discussion about shelters. If you check your favorite shelter, make sure they're lacking food for puppies and kittens. So if you are generous, please reach out to them and help them. Animal Control is doing a great job getting the dogs adopted out there. Another thing we talked about is having a meet and greet in November for the public. Be more open to get more people in to meet with Animal Control and talk about what we do and how we serve the community and what we can't do in our education process. After that, every member of the committee has applied except for one. Who has been busy checking to make sure everybody's getting theirs in, and I haven't gotten mine in yet. So we're turning those into Eric. I think Carol has those today. So other than that, we're doing a great job out there educating the public and helping getting the puppies. My PSA for this month is keep those water bowls filled during this hot weather. And that's it.
Thank you so much, Tinker. We appreciate it. Next up under administrative, we have appointments, reappointments, and resignations. We have the reappointment of Dennis Schaefer to the Baker Creek Drainage District, reappointment of David Cole to the Canavan Drainage District, reappointment of Naomi Andres to the Grinnell Special Drainage District, reappointment of John Grickus to the Grinnell Special Drainage District, reappointment of Mark O'Connor to the Joe Bennis Drainage District, reappointment of Devin Nugent to the Mantino Drainage District number 3, reappointment of Scott Greasy. Okay, now I have that one down. To the Mantino Drainage District number 6, reappointment of Jason O'Connor to the Raymond Drainage District number 1, reappointment of Thomas Peterson to the Regional Planning Commission, reappointment of Bruce Harlberg to the Regional Planning Commission, appointment of John Kiger to the Rockville Drainage District number 1, and this one's the best one because we finally have a dentist. Appointment of Ashu Bansal, DDS to the Board of Health. So can I have a motion to combine and approve those? First by Federling, second by Foster, and we'll do a voice vote on that. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and we'll do openings next. We have 2 openings on the Historic Preservation Commission, 2 historians, 1 opening on the Regional Planning Commission, 1 opening on the Kankakee County Housing Authority, which has to be a tenant, 5 openings on the County Animal Welfare Advisory Committee, 2 openings on the Kankakee River Conservancy District, 1 opening on the Merit Commission, 1 opening on the BM Lewis Drainage District, 1 opening on the Clausen Park Drainage District, 1 opening on the Exline Creek Drainage District, 1 opening on the Mantino Drainage District number 3, 2 openings on the Moments Pembroke Union Drainage District number 1, 1 opening on the Moments and Yellowhead Drainage District number 1, and 1 opening on the Raymond Drainage District number 1. That's it for openings. Under new business, I wanted to amend the county code to reflect the current committees that we have. So we obviously consolidated some of the committees earlier in the year. I happened to be reading the county code at night one night, and I realized they didn't reflect it. So yeah, I know, a very boring thing to do at night, but I was reading that, realized it didn't reflect it, and so we're just doing a little bit of cleanup on that. So this would be amending county code section 2-62 for committees generally, and I need a motion to approve in a second for that. First by Kirkstra. Second, did you do a motion, Peggy?
No, but I will second that motion.
Second by Peggy, and then if there's no discussion on that.
Only one. You're not the only one that does night reading.
All right, well, that's good too. We're both bored at night then. And then I'll need a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Anything else under new business? Anything under old business? All right, Roger.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Roger, second by Featherling. And then we'll do a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.